That video is on Facebook, that I don't have, it's just on Facebook.
Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Blue Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I mean, seriously, it doesn't work without you guys. Whew. I am exhausted. We were at NFL Experience yesterday from like 7:30 to 10:30 last night. And I'm tired, boss. My knees are shot. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. So I see Big Grub 76 got his shot glass. Just got a notification on that. Congratulations. Yvonne Sanchez, you haven't gotten yours? I'll get it taken care of when I get back home. So we're headed back over there. I'm going to probably do some live streams from there. Of course, this is Pro Bowl Sunday, the second to the last game, if you call it a game, left of the NFL season. So we, of course, are not in the Super Bowl, but, you know, Super Bowl is still a celebration of the NFL. And we're going to try and celebrate the going away party for the season. So if you're a Cowboy fan, you know, we've had a lot of stuff that's been going on with getting a new coach, Mike McCarthy. Now, the question you have to ask yourself is Mike McCarthy assembled a staff of all-star coaches, or has he actually hired a staff of guys that couldn't get it done? That's where you start looking at saying, okay, let's break down into this a little bit, of course. Mike McCarthy, of course, you know, young earlier in Aaron Rodgers' career, ended up winning the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. You got to give him props for that. That's a lot more than Jason Garrett ever thought of doing. But then some people look at it and say, well, you had Aaron Rodgers and you only won one Super Bowl. Well, Sean Payton only had, one Super Bowl win, and he's had Drew Brees, and you can look at him failing in the playoffs the last couple of years with monster teams. So I'll leave that to your discretion if you believe that he's a great coach or not. The question you have to ask is, was Aaron Rodgers more important to Mike McCarthy, or was Mike McCarthy more important to Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers had a pretty good season, but he didn't have the Aaron Rodgers type season. He had a team that played really well behind him this year, supporting cast on defense, special teams, and things like that, but they just weren't able to elevate themselves enough to make it to that Super Bowl. And mind you, winning a Super Bowl, guys, is damn near impossible. There's 31 teams that are trying to get there and wishing that they got the Super Bowl but don't. So then you think on the offensive side, they kept Kellen Moore calling plays, 1 year experience under Jason Garrett. You saw some improvements on the offense. We were the highest yardage offense in the NFL. Dak Prescott, every one of his matrix got better this year, from touchdown passes to yards per completion, and things like that. Mike Nolan, very respected defensive coordinator, worked with Baltimore Ravens for a couple years as defensive coordinator, just finished working as linebackers coach with the New Orleans Saints, and I like the way New Orleans Saints defense played downhill. My buddy Demario Davis played lights out, and if he can do that same kind of impact with Jalen Smith and the Wolf Hunter, provided the Wolf Hunter's neck situation is okay, then you're looking at, okay, that's going to be a big improvement. But then you also look at the rest of his coaching resume. He has had coaching experience, which is great. But it was a failure with San Francisco. And what's interesting is he ended up hiring Mike McCarthy as his offensive coordinator. It didn't work. John Fossil, special teams coach, coordinator, basically taking the same role that he had with the Rams. He actually did wonders as far as the Rams special teams went. Definitely an upgrade for us. Doug Nussmeier, one of the few, along with Kellen Moore and Leon Lett, that were retained by the Cowboys. So Nussmeier goes from tight ends coach to now quarterbacks coach. So again, the pedigree is under Jason Garrett with the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Phoeben, who's now the offensive line coach. Again, another guy who was head coach of the Miami Dolphins for 3 years, and they couldn't bust a grape. Now, do you look at that as the Miami Dolphins is now a franchise that just can't get it done, and he was set up for failure, or do you look at him as being a failure there? I don't know, but he's got head coaching experience. Just don't know how good that coaching experience really is. Jim Tomsula. Okay, here we go. Tomsula was interim head coach with the 49ers after Mike Nolan was fired. Head coaching experience, at least for a few games. In the last 3 years, he's been the defensive line coach for the Washington Redskins. Scott McCurry, linebacker coach. He was with the Packers with Mike McCarthy. So this is one of those ones that somebody he's familiar with. Skip Pete was with the Cowboys, running back coach. They brought him back. I think 2007 to 2012. And you look at that and say, okay, how did we really do in that time? We had Marion Barber, we had Felix Jones, and I think 1 year of DeMarco Murray. Maybe it wasn't the talent, but the Cowboys thought enough about Skip to bring him on board. Landon Wells with the New York Giants the last 2 years with the Cowboys. Al Harris, defensive back coach, former player for Mike McCarthy, new guy. And we got Leon Lett, and Leon Lett kept on the defensive line. Now, what I like about this one is Leon Lett, the big cat, one of the last really big, great defensive linemen we've had in a long time. I'm hoping that the Dallas Cowboys get back to that disruptive, big, immovable force defensive lineman, and that we start making a difference in the middle of the field. As my buddy DMV Dallas Cowboys said, I quote him, when you control the middle of the field, you control the field. And that is something, my friends, that the Dallas Cowboys on defense have not been able to do for a long time. The point of attack, the center, 4.6 yards per carry. You look at safeties and taking the ball away. Just not there. This team needs a change of directions. I'm hoping that this group of guys, these guys, I forgot Edwards from Minnesota as well. That one, you definitely look at that defense and say Minnesota has been known for that tough defense. So as we look at all these guys, we got some head coaching experience, be it not a lot of success, exception of Mike McCarthy. You see this group of guys that have been eyes all over the NFL. Hopefully it'll give you a different perspective. And it looks like a team, at least on the defense, that you're going to go ahead and be evolving into that big front that's going to be more aggressive and hopefully be able to shut the run down and get takeaways. As I look at the last season, everybody keeps focusing on, the offense didn't do enough. Listen, we were always taught, defense, your job is to make sure that the offense doesn't score 17 points. Offense, you need to score 20 or more points every game. If you do that, then you're going to win most times in the NFL. But the defense did not do that. And the defensive job as well is to take the football away. There is no bigger statistic when it comes to winning the game as winning the battle of takeaways. And our defense, since 2014, where they were second in taking away the football, has not done it anywhere close. So we need this defense to be able to stop the run, take the ball away, and special teams not to put us in a hole. I hope that this group of guys with the experiences that they have when they come together with these fresh eyes, develop a different outcome. So that being said, we got one final piece of the puzzle to take care of. Fernando and Susie, who says, I'm the psychiatrist. And if I'm your psychiatrist, hate to tell you, you're crazy. They got me a Build-A-Bear. And what's funny, there's a story that goes along with this because now I got a problem. I actually, for Cowboys Up North, took a video inside the NFL shop that I hadn't posted yet. Just showing you some of the shirts and things like that and some of the prices. And in the NFL shop there, they have the Build-A-Bear. And I was talking to people about Build-A-Bear and everything else. And so the girl there was like, you've got to come back, and I did it on the video, and get a Build-A-Bear. And I said, I'll come back and get a Build-A-Bear. I don't need two. I got the Super Bowl Dallas Cowboy one. So now, I need you guys, I need you guys to come up with a name for our Dallas Cowboy Super Bowl bear. I think it has a Super. He said it's a Super Bowl football. I need you guys to come up with a name for our bear. All right, I gotta take my tire behind and get on down to the convention center. What I'll do is I'll post in the community tab when I'm going to go live, what time we'll go live, and then we'll do a live stream from down there. So as always, guys, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and naming the bear. Because without you guys, man, I can't make it. He's so soft. I'll see you guys soon.